Let's get into season 3 of The Gilded Age on HBO Max. We are following the life and journey of a Miss Peggy Scott, who is easily one of my favorite characters because of the nuance of Black elitism, especially around the Society of New York. And they're introducing a American treasure with Felicia Rashad playing the bougiest of the bougie. So as we know, Peggy Scott is a rising talent in the world of journalism and writing as an author. Her novel is being picked up and she's really excited. So she's just rising up through the ranks and her parents are so proud of her. That's her mother, Dorothy Scott, played by Audra McDonald, the legendary actress. And so we really get to see the nuance of this. But, Peggy's going away, work in the big city. She gets sick. Her dad, being a pharmacist, hooks her up with an amazing young Black doctor who was educated at Howard. And so, their little romance is blossoming and blooming. And the ladies, they're talking and they're getting excited. And of course, love is in the air. So they're, just putting their ideas out there. But this show is really diving into the depths of Black elitism, the Black families, the boule, the bourgeoisie, we would call them in Francais. And of course, there's a lot of chatter. So I wanted to show this scene here. It's time to meet the parents. So let's have a listen and look at this interaction.
Miss Scott graduated from the Institute for Colored Youth in Pennsylvania.
Then you and my son have that in common.
Oh, what do you mean?
My wife is referring to William's attendance at Howard.
And our elder son went to Yale Medical School.
How impressive.
I'd like to think it runs in the family. My cousin was the first colored man to graduate from Harvard. William could have gone that route, but he chose not to.
What's wrong with Howard University? It's a fine institution.
It is. It's just so far away.
Is that why you never visited me?
It's a lovely area. My family is from Maryland.
Is that so? What was your maiden name? I know some folks from Baltimore.
Hogue.
That does not sound familiar.
Frederick, we don't know anyone down there. Our family has lived in Rhode Island for 5 generations. My great-great-grandfather fought in the American Revolutionary War.
He played the bugle.
And that counts.
Did he fight for the British or American?
Well, the Americans, of
Pause,
course.
because that was a poignant question. Which side did your Black family fight for? So we're not just going to skim through that. Yes, there were Black people fighting along the British in the American Revolutionary War because they were loyal to the crown. So, y'all don't want to get into the nuance of that just yet, but we're going to use this series as a teaching point.
He was a proud freeman and a patriot.
Well,
Credit to your family.
There's my brother James. I'd love for you to meet him.
Oh, I'd like that.
Excuse us.
Howard Medical Department served your son well. His efficient and prompt care of our daughter likely saved her from pneumonia, or worse.
I agree. My training was not enough, which is why I called on him.
Training? What training? I thought you were some sort of salesman.
I'm a pharmacist and proprietor of my own apothecaries in Brooklyn.
But isn't that the same thing?
Elizabeth, I have bought many cures for you over the years from Mr. Scott. You owe him a great deal.
Is it a family business?
I meant for it to be, but Peggy has her own idea.
What I meant was, has it been in your family for a while?
I founded it. After I was freed, I came north to take advantage of the opportunities that came with Emancipation.
I see.
Woo! Pause again. Y'all not ready. The blanketed false emotions that Black Americans have tied to slavery when they don't even know their ancestors' direct names. They just assume their ancestors were enslaved. And I love the depths of this character. There are Black Americans today that have this Mandela effect, these psychological ties to this traumatized slave narrative, and they have zero proof their ancestors were ever enslaved. And so she is getting to the nitty gritty of the nuance of being Black in America. It's like, ooh, slavery, that's kind of tough to talk about. What happened there with your family lineage? And so if you are wearing some false emotions because you believe the Columbus myths of your ancestors being enslaved, you might want to check again. You might want to dig a little bit deeper. Really, what's at the depths here is that she is checking the father. She is digging into them wallets. She wants to know, because if we're going to merge these families, like, you got to like the family. So for all those people who tell their parents, get out of my life, you have no business because you ain't got no dowry. But check the colorism here as she checks the governess.
Loretta, I have told you not to leave those children out in the sun too long without an umbrella. The last thing they need is more sun.
I feel deeply that in the Black community, they really associate skin color with poverty. They've made it synonymous. So these kind of stories and narratives really tee a lot of people off because they're like, oh, they think they're white tea. And so then I tell these people, you're the white tea supremacists, because if you think high society and class and good manners and being polite and liking the finer things in life, well, maybe then white tea is just exactly that, a color-coded system. And I've realized this anytime I bring up the ideas of wealth and prosperity and good manners and proper etiquette and, social dining etiquette and even business etiquette. The way my peer group in terms of age, not my peers, but because of age, like this demographic that I've been attached to, unfortunately, y'all should hear and see these gals and these bromans spaz out. A lot of people just don't like the idea of Black wealth, especially around the times of when Jim Crow was being developed. And you'll hear a lot of people, they'll really put down the idea of this bourgeoisie based on their skin color. And they kind of have this notion that somebody owes them something. Like, this group was supposed to look out for them. Remember, they don't necessarily like this group. So through today's lens, they don't have a connection to the patriarchy because their fathers failed them. So they don't want the government hands out, but they want this bourgeoisie Negro class to look out for them and not undermine their poverty mindset. And so, I'm so glad that classism is making a comeback because we deserve the best. There's only one recipe for success, and that is success. So check out the interaction here between the parents because they're talking about this. Like, what type of family is our daughter potentially marrying into? And so, yes, the parents' consideration matters deeply. So
We'll miss you.
Do you think I was harsh about Mrs. Kirkland? I don't have to remind you what a challenging time we had with your family accepting me.
It's only because they had somebody else sitting.
And that someone else had been born free like you and liked.
But I chose.
If she were to marry William and the children take after him, won't people think Peggy's their nurse?
You and Mrs. Kirkland probably had that same thought.
Oh, don't bracket me with her. And what if our grandchildren look more like Peggy? That woman would treat them like servants.
You're getting yourself worked up over something that may never happen.
William is a fine young man.
Yes, he is.
But what about his mother?
Must I remind you how things turned out when you last imposed your will in Peggy's love life?
No need.
I'm going to roll this over into a part 2 because the auntie here really shares an interesting perspective, really fair and balanced.